the apocalypse. Heading to our local gun range. Just get some practice in, get some shots downrange, make sure I'm doing what I need to stay on top of being able to put accurate rounds downrange for whatever may come our way. We're going to go over some basic firearm safety, rules of firearms. Always treat it like it's loaded. Keep your finger off the trigger. Know your target and what is beyond it. Don't aim at anything unless you plan to destroy what you're aiming at. So no monkeying around with them, being safe with them. Again, checking to make sure that they're loaded and treating them as if they're loaded regardless of if they are unloaded. So I'm going to put some rounds down range. I've only brought 2 of my handguns out today. I'm going to shoot a little bit, and I'm going to go over why I chose these guns to buy, especially being an everyday Joe making so much money. Well guys, brand new can of paint, and it decides to blow back right in my face. I've spent the last 10 minutes trying to clean up paint all over me, all over my glasses, my sunglasses. Good thing spit works. So I got these actually kind of cleared up really well. Still got some white spackles on my glasses. You can kind of see that. But letting you know, you have a new can of paint, don't spray it into the wind. Lessons learned from the day. Anyway, back to the actual content we're trying to watch. I brought out today my Glock 19X and my 1911. The reason why I go for these 2 firearms over just about anything else out there on the market is aftermarket availability of parts. If I need to repair my 1911, because it's been around since 1911, it's so common. Same with the Glock. Glock has been manufacturing since 1988 with their Glock 17 lineup, the Gen 3s, Gen 4s, Gen 5s. They even got some renditions of the Gen 1s out there, Gen 2s. But you can find spare parts and pieces for them fairly common. Again, finger off the trigger, treat it as if it's loaded, which I always drive around loaded. And there's a reason for that. When I need it now. Not having to fiddle fart with parts, with racking it, anything else like that. So that's why I choose Glock. Glock, polymer frame, lightweight, durable. So it'll absolutely do anything and everything you need it to when you need it to. It's the #1 firearm chosen for law enforcement agencies. I used one when I was a cop. It's got a history and a track record of being reliable. The other weapon that I have chosen is the 1911. And the reason for the 1911, again, aftermarket parts and pieces, it was used for the military for World War I, World War II, Vietnam, Korea, and even then to this day, SF units still prefer the 45 ACP. The 45 ACP is a hell of a round. It's big, it's fat, it's coming at you from anywhere from 900 to 1050 feet per second, weighing 230 grains. It's gonna thump hard. Whereas today, I'm running some 115 grain full metal jacket with the 9mm. It's common. It's the most common grain weight you can find out in the open market. I work at a gun counter, kind of know that. But so between the 9mm and again, the big beefy 45 ACP, got a good significant size difference. But at the same time, you have a round count difference. The 1911 is going to pack around 8. Any 1911 will be about 8, 7. You can find 10 round magazines on the market. Glocks will be anywhere from, at least in the 9mm platform, from 15 to 50 round drums or bigger. You got 24 round sticks, 33 round sticks. I'm packing a 17 plus 2, so I've got 19 round magazines. Overall, again, these two are going to be probably your best bets if you're getting into the personal defense market, looking for a good handgun, because again, they run, they have a track record, they have a history, they do phenomenal. If you got small kids, Glock does have some safeties. It's got a sear spring safety, it's got a trigger safety. Again, not sponsored by any of these people, it's just my personal choice based on the finances that I have. It's got a trigger safety. Again, good 9mm platform overall. I'm running a TLR7A light underneath. Not necessary. I like running lights with them, especially this is my go-to, you know, if things go south kind of firearm. I have magazine capacity, ammo's all over the place. I use the 1911 more for a nostalgia sake for me. It's 5 inches of barrel, cast steel, pretty awesome. I like the nostalgia behind it, I like the history behind it. So we're gonna go ahead and just, I got some targets downrange. Again, spray painted myself as much as I did the target. Just shoot a little bit here and there. Just kind of, again, make sure I'm aiming where I'm hitting. Good positive grip overall. Let's have at it. Four targets, 5 shots. I was a little low. Again, I'm more of a rifle shooter than I am a pistol shooter, I'll admit that. But I knocked them all down. So, I'll go put them back up real quick. Hold on. Again, just some steel targets downrange, nothing fancy. And let's run 1911 now. 1911 does have a grip safety and a thumb safety. Engage those. Better of a shot with that. I'll show you downrange. All right, guys, here you are. Again, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a nice little setup I have. Well, not I have. The range has here. We're very blessed to have them. Pretty good stuff. Anyway, you can see kind of how I'm shooting. Your 9mm versus your 45. 45 is definitely going to hit a little harder because she is way heavier. 9mm zips there a lot quicker though, because she is a little bit small, a little bit fast. 9.45. 9.45. 9.45. Again, this is at about where I'm standing back here. Oh, say 25, 20 yards, something like that. Not bad. So again, guys, I'm not doing anything over the top or fancy today. Just pretty much verifying that I am still aiming at what I'm hitting what I'm aiming at. It's all about proper grip. So before I do that, with most slide actions, what I end up doing is I end up throwing my thumb up high, and I like having that good high grip. By doing this, it locks my tendon out here. And then with a Glock, because Glock's at a different grip angle, Glocks tend to, again, grip angle being where it sits from perpendicular to the firearm. Glock sits a little further back, a little more angle to it. So what I end up doing is I end up actually using my left thumb and pointing with that. Again, my thumb kind of stays up high. I'm riding up, and I'm actually riding up on the slide too, guys. Like, good grip, good posture on it. I run a little bit bigger of the back strap because I'm kind of a bigger dude, you know, being 6'2", 215 pounds. Again, riding high, nice high grip, things of that nature. Now for the 1911, what I end up doing is very similar, but because it's got, again, click, because it's not as steep of an angle, you can kind of see, has to line those up. Glock's got way more towards the back than the 1911. So I'm tipping with the Glock. The 1911, actually, what I'm doing is I'm doing a really strong primary wrist grip on it. And And I'm just going to naturally, like I point, I'm going to naturally point. You see how it kind of levels out? It's nice and flat. And then with my support hand, I'm still lining up high on the gun itself. Again, that's a personal preference more than anything else. It allows me to really fill in this gap here with the palm, heel of my hand, right into that there, wrapping my fingers around. And again, I still do the Glock thing, and I point my thumb as I'm aiming, but nowhere near that angle that I'm at on a Glock. 1911, Glock. Either way, I've got both my index finger and my offhand thumb pointing with the fire. Does make it a little more natural to kind of like just, if I have to aim and shoot, it makes it easy for me. Like I already know if I'm pointing in the general direction, I'm probably gonna hit it, especially if it's a man-sized target. Bear, where we live, there's a lot of wildlife, bears, mountain lions, things of that nature. So I'm gonna put a couple more down range just to get my practice in, get those repetitions in. Okay, 1911's ready, Glock is ready. Let's see if I can do all 4 of those targets down there with 4 shots again. Let's try the 1911 first this time. And let's see how we do. Completely whiffed. And I'm hitting low. Again, guys, I'm not a good pistol shooter. I got, what was that, 5 shots? 2 out of the 4. It's terrible. I do need to practice with my 1911 more, but I'm willing to admit that. Again, when I was a cop, Glock was all we shot. Kind of got addicted to it. Not really addicted to it, but I got used to it. I just seemed to shoot better with the Glock. It's just kind of how it is. I shoot better with the Glock. I'm probably shooting, you can't even hear what I'm saying. But yeah, I gotta have more practice with my 1911. Again, reason why I picked it was kind of for nostalgia. Around here in the Midwest where I live, tons of people use a 1911. Anything from a Commander's model, Kimber, Sig, I mean there's a couple Sigs out there, Rock Island Armory. And this one actually is a Rock Island Armory GI. It's kind of nice for the sake of, it's right out the box ready to go. Clean it up, put some ammo in it. I've ran hollow points, full metal jackets, semi-wad cutters out of it and never had a problem. I just got done helping a friend of mine with his Kimber 10, jamming, messing the rounds up, wouldn't seat them properly. Tight tolerances. John Moses Browning, when he invented this, you hear that? It's a natural wiggle between the slide and the lower. You want to have a little bit of wiggle room. It's a combat gun. It allows it to kind of shift and move to accommodate the rounds as it's feeding, and it shoots really good. People will diss on Rock Island. I won't. I find them to be so far fairly reliable. This has shot almost 100% of everything I've given it. I would say almost. I don't know why I said almost. It does. It shoots everything I've given it, and then some. I've never had a jam, never had a problem, never had an issue. And guys, I'm running cheap ammo. I am not made of money. Trust me, I wish I was. But the way life panned out, things that I've done, things that I'm currently doing, Rock Island works just fine. It truly does. Y'all can give me crap, y'all can give me shit, but it does. It runs, it functions. I've never had a problem with it. They're modifiable. You can get 1911 parts anywhere online. Brownells, I don't know, 1911parts.com. I'm sure there's something out there similar to that. Again, making clear. Just booked up my rounds again, or my plates again. Send a couple more downrange. Why not? Let's see if I can actually knock down what I'm aiming at. 6 in the mag, and we'll go from there. 1911 first. There we go. There we go. 4 for 4 on that one. How many bullets I got left on this one? 3. Grab another box. Give myself 6 with the 1911. Let's give myself 6 with the 9. There we go. Front sight focus, guys. Oh, I only gave myself 5 bullets. There we go. Front sight focus. What does that mean? That means when I'm aiming down my sights, I'm focusing on that front sight and giving myself a good image. Okay? Don't focus on the target. Don't focus on the rear sights. Focus on front sight. And as I'm shooting and I'm pulling that shot, I'm holding it down, resetting it, pulling it down, resetting it. Same with the 1911. So this 1911 is an old GI. You see how tiny those are, right? So again, I've got the glare in my eye from the sun. You're gonna just kind of line them up. And again, same thing. Shoot, shoot, shoot. And one thing a lot of beginner shooters will do is they'll anticipate the recoil, so they'll dip it down when they pull the trigger. Don't do that. Hold it tight, pull the trigger, let the gun do its thing. Again, holding tight, it's all gonna function, it's all gonna fire, whole 9 yards. One thing I saw a lot of, at least in the Army, was with these new kids using the Beretta M9, they'd lip wrist it, let it do its own thing. It's what's called stovepiping. So the round, again, empty round, what it would do is as they were shooting, would actually jam in the firearm like this. It's a pretty easy way to clear it. You just grab the slide, rack it back, drop that round, and you're ready to engage your target. But don't limp wrist. Good, strong wrists, strong grip, aiming, front sight focus, and then pull your trigger. And then trigger reset. Again, showing a clear firearm, no magazine. Again, you have this wall here, slack, hit that wall, break. About 5 pounds, 5.5 pounds with this Glock. It fires. Obviously, I'm simulating it cycling the round. When I come off, that click. You feel and hear that click, that reset of the trigger. It means everything is back in line and ready for the next shot. Okay? Technically, again, clear gun, no mag. You don't want to do this with a 1911 because of the hammer and springs and how they're properly fit. But again, hammer is single action only, so hammer has to be down. If you come across 1911 like this, chances are it's unloaded, but again, what's the rule? Treat every gun as if it's loaded. So, with it being hammered, ready to go, we're gonna 3-pound trigger pull. But that's not bad. So again, keeping that down, it cycles, you're gonna hear very light click, barely feel it. And then again, you're back on target, about a 3-pound trigger pull. That's kind of the basics of, again, very rough, very quick way of firing a pistol. And again, out of what I've done with my experience, prior military, infantry unit, logistics, prior law enforcement, did that for 8 years, beat cop, less lethal firearms instructor, clearing rooms, kicking doors. Glock is a very good way to go for the beginner shooter. It's reliable, it functions, it's easy to maintain, not a lot of parts and pieces with it. It's pretty good to go. If you're a more experienced shooter and you want to get into something a bit bigger, or if you're just a naturally bigger guy, the 1911 is kind of a nice way to go. Get that big, heavy hitting 45 ACP versus the 9mm. I'll set those right there. Pretty good size difference, guys. Not bad either way you go. You're going to be a little more pricey with the 45 just for the sake of overall cost of everything. You know, more lead, more brass, more powder, but it's going to hit heavy, a little bit slower. That's just physics. 9mm, everyone's using it. Most law enforcement agencies are running 9mm. Most federal agencies are running 9mm. The military is running 9mm. But you're not going wrong either way you go. And even then, if you get something like a Springfield or a SIG or a Taurus, you're starting to get a little on the cheap end. But I've seen some pretty good stuff from Taurus over the last couple years. They've really kind of tried to improve themselves. Not a bad way to go, not the greatest way to go, not that I would personally recommend, but I'm a little brain damaged, I admit that. I like things that see frontline use, whether it's law enforcement, military, has a history to it, just proven to work. That's what I like. I like proof. Again, I'm running cheap ammo, guys. The best thing you can do for yourself is to get out there, train hard, and take your time with it. Okay? I'm just, again, more or less filming content, but coming out, making sure I'm hitting what I'm aiming at, and I can work on other things like draw stroke and all that stuff later on, and we will be doing that later down the road. I guess if you guys like this stuff, hit that like, subscribe. Hopefully it all keeps going out. I'm pumping it out as best as I can. We'll develop more as we go, and train hard, stay fit.